Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I request that we all observe a moment of silence for prayer, for meditation, and for dedication. Please be seated. I welcome you all to this admission ceremony of the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa. I'm Johan Fagan, and I'm the president of the CMSA. On the stage with me, I'm joined by our past president of the CMSA, Professor Lizo Imazwai, the senior vice president of the CMSA, Professor Zach Korto, our senators and leaders and academics of our 29 colleges, our executive leadership, and of course our special guests. I'd like to introduce to you probably our most special guest, and that is Professor Tsaba Mukune. She was the very first dean of this university health science faculty, and I think it'll be opportune for us to give her a round of applause. I also wish to extend a special welcome to Professor Sonka, the Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University, who will be delivering a welcome message, and to Professor Wezile Mthatha, who is the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences of the University, who will be delivering the oration today. I also welcome Dr. Nozipho Jaksa, who is the Acting Chief Director, Human Resource Development of the Eastern Cape Department of Health, who will be sharing a congratulatory message with our new diplomates, fellows, and certificates. I also wish to mention our other special guests, which include both the past and present deans and leaders of the university, as well as Professor Steve Imolawa, who is the clinical governance head of the Nelson Mandela Academic Hospital, and managers of the teaching hospitals and CEOs that critically provide the clinical training platforms and employment for our trainees and their teachers. But of course, the most special guests to welcome today are our new diplomates and our fellows and our certificates, and of course your friends and your family. It's now my privilege to invite Professor Sonka, the Vice Chancellor and Principal of Walter Sisulu University, to deliver a welcome message. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, molweni. Engathi sidiniwe kubani ixesha. Okanye silambile. Molweni. Dumelang. I need to go through these acknowledgements as I welcome these special guests. The President of the CMSA, Professor Fagan, the CEO of the CMSA, Professor Bach, council members, the chairperson of METRC, of the HPCSA, Professor Mbogas, I haven't seen him, so in absentia, ECD, Eastern Cape Department of Health, Executive Management, the CEO of NHLS, Professor Mlisana, Area Management of NHLS Eastern Cape, Mrs. Makula, the former Deans of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences at WSU, Professor Baba Mugoina, Professor Mfenyane, and Professor Mazwai. Hospital CEOs and clinical managers, members of Senate present, all executive deans and former deans present today, Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, heads of department at Walter Sisulu, community representatives, ladies and gentlemen, again I greet you. As we celebrate the success of our colleagues today, I would like us to reflect on our environments as a reminder of the responsibilities and realities our colleagues are confronted with. It is through these reflections that we will appreciate the critical role they play or will play in the communities they serve. South Africa remains an unequal society, grappling with wicked problems such as poverty, violence, and even access to essential services. According to the 2022 census, 40.3% of South Africans did not have access to piped water in their yards, 32.9% of the population unemployed, and 68.2% of the households did not feel safe walking alone in the dark. That was in 2022. And we need to reflect how much we have removed from that. Again, research informs us that South Africa is facing incomparable burden of diseases compared to its counterparts in the world. In addition, we must reflect on why you continue to grapple with preventable and avoidable health-related issues such as non-communicable diseases, HIV and AIDS, TB, violence, injury, femicide. The list is endless. A closer examination reveals thus that there's a close nexus between these diseases and people's socio-economic conditions, such as poverty and lack of adequate access to healthcare. Essential services such as water, electricity, infrastructure such as roads are enablers for our health systems, life expectancy, health and well-being of our people. A lack of these services comprises the well-being of our communities, especially women and children. The impact of challenges are magnified or exacerbated in rural communities such as the Eastern Cape. For us who live in the villages, we know firsthand these challenges that I've referred to. Therefore, our medical practitioners need to appreciate their unique role, especially those practicing in rural communities such as the Eastern Cape, Limpopo, and other parts of KwaZulu-Natal, to mention a few. I urge our health practitioners who find themselves in these environments to resist the temptation of detaching themselves from the communities they work in. They need to take time to drive or walk around these communities, visit clinics and district hospitals to gain a better understanding and connection with their employers and the patients that they serve. Insights into people's socio-economic conditions will help them and us to understand and better appreciate the realities of our people, and in turn enable medical professions to recognize us that live in these communities as human beings deserving of equal health services and dignity. In conclusion, I state that your role as medical practitioners infuses elements of advocacy. You have to be the vanguards of our people. Therefore, you must also challenge the status quo as it relates to the provisioning of health services by the government, challenge some of the policies that the government implements or fails to implement. I therefore encourage you to use achievements to transform the health system through better governance, better patient care, and improved access to care. Collective approaches to advance comprehensive patient care remain an ideal that should be embraced and forged. Once again, congratulations, and I welcome you all.
Thank you very much. Got a gift for you.
Thank you.
So much. Very special.
Thank you very much.
This right there. Here we go. Yeah, Professor Songa, thank you very much for that very thought-provoking, so welcome. And we're certainly setting the context quite clearly in terms of what the challenges are that all our new so diplomats and specialists really have to embrace. I next wish to say a few words about the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa. The College of Medicine was officially founded in 1955. So in 2025, that's next year, we'll be celebrating its 70th anniversary. The CMSA is perhaps best known for running the national unitary examinations for medical and dental diplomas, specialists and subspecialists in collaboration with the universities who are responsible for education and training, the MEd research dissertations, and for signing off trainees being clinically competent. So the CMSA works very closely with the universities. All the universities have representation on the CMSA's 29 college councils, and the universities use the infrastructure and the expertise of the CMSA for the academics to examine their candidates. More recently, the CMSA has evolved from being principally an examining body to seeking to fulfill its founding objectives that include promoting ethical standards, professional conduct for the professional conduct for the benefit of humanity, and promoting the honor of the medical and dental profession. This has included transformation of the CMSA with a focus on gender and race of its leadership, making examinations fairer, making examinations and admission ceremonies more accessible, such as this one today, and making, to quote our immediate past president, Professor Flavio Senkebuge, the CMSA a people's college. The CMSA has also become involved in advocacy, in building alliances with sister colleges, and creating an educational platform and establishing a scientific journal. As a national body with representation of every medical and dental specialty, both in the public and private sectors, the CMSA has exceptional depth and breadth of expertise. Given South Africa's healthcare challenges, including the severe financial cuts to public hospitals and the uncertainty around the NHI, it is therefore appropriate and timely that the CMSA should engage directly in discussions with government about our healthcare system and how to secure and strengthen our teaching platforms and to preserve the throughput of registrars in this time of austerity, and how to protect specialized healthcare for our people. To this end, we have established a Health Policy Committee to share perspective of specialist healthcare with national and regional departments of health. The CMSA, generously supported by Life Healthcare, is partnering with our universities to establish a virtual online education platform to assist our candidates to prepare for examinations. The CMSA's virtual e-learning platform called Learn at CMSA was launched in May, that's last month, and includes 16 modules to assist you with your MEd research. The CMSA is also planning to roll out its diplomas to the rest of Africa to improve healthcare also beyond our borders. An exciting recent development is the launch of the CMSA's own high-quality, peer-reviewed, open-access medical and dental scientific journal called the Journal of the CMSA, or the JCMSA, to provide opportunities for you to publish your MEd dissertations, your PhDs, and other research. The journal has an exceptionally powerful leadership in Professor Soraya Sidat, who is a highly rated academic as editor-in-chief, supported by Professor Mike Satege and Johnny Mthlangu, also outstanding academics and past and current chairs of the MRC of South Africa, and has an excellent international editorial board. The JCMSA is off to a flying start, and we heard only this week that it has already, that's within a year, been listed by the Directory of Open Access Journals, and it therefore qualifies for accreditation with the DHET, which means that universities will be able to claim its subsidies for publications also in 2024. And I'm confident that the JCMSA will go on to become a top international medical journal. Now, the cost for authors to publish research in open access journals has become prohibitively expensive, and it discriminates against those who cannot afford article processing charges. The CMSA is therefore fundraising for an article processing charges waiver fund to assist authors who are not financially supported by the institutions to ensure that the ability to pay should never be a barrier to sharing research. We're initially aiming to raise 12 million rand, the interest of which will cover the cost of about 100 articles per year. And I urge you all to contribute to this waiver fund. And for the CMSA, this is an important matter of social justice. However, today we are gathered not to speak about the CMSA, but to celebrate the successful conclusion of your diplomas, and specialist and subspecialist examinations, and your admission as a member of the CMSA. We are also here to celebrate your teachers, your university, and our hospitals for giving you the opportunity to acquire your specialized knowledge and skills. We are also here to acknowledge the CMSA for presenting an examination platform for our universities to fairly examine their candidates and to ensure that they can safely enter specialized practice. We acknowledge the incredible voluntary commitment of the elected CMSA leadership, our senators, our college presidents, our council members, and all our examiners. It's now my privilege to introduce our esteemed guest speaker, Professor Mthatha, who will be delivering the oration today. Professor Mthatha is the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences at the Walter Sisulu University. He has made significant contributions as a scholar and a leader in health economics, policy, and management. His academic journey began with a medical degree followed by a master's in public health with a specialization in health economics from the University of Cape Town. He subsequently completed a PhD in public health at Walter Sisulu University. Throughout his career, Professor Mthatha has held pivotal leadership roles, including Chief Medical Superintendent at the Frontier Regional Hospital here in the Eastern Cape and the Mowbray Maternity Hospital in Cape Town. Under his leadership, Mowbray Maternity Hospital received the Western Cape Premier Service Excellence Award, and the Frontier Hospital was recognized as the best performing hospital in the Eastern Cape Health Department. He also served as the founding director of the Albertina Sisulu Center for Global Health and Research here at the Walter Sisulu University, where he led research in health economics, in health policy and systems analysis. Professor Mthatha's dedication to academia and administration is further underscored by his tenure as Dean at the WSU, Assistant Dean at the University of the Witwatersrand, and his current role as Executive Dean at the Walter Sisulu University. Professor Mthatha, we are truly honored to have you as our guest speaker, and we eagerly anticipate your address today.
President of the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa for the kind introduction. I would like also to greet the following people, the President, the Council members and Senators, including executive management of the college, our Vice Chancellor and the management of the university present. The Eastern Cape Department of Health is represented by Dr. Chakla. NHLS management is represented by Mrs. Makula. Acknowledge HPCSA in absentia. Our deans, we have a founding dean who is still quite lucky that she's still with us and she's able to join our events. We appreciate that, Prof. Kabamkwena. We also have Professor Mazwai and Professor Mfenyana who have steered the ship up until we're able to take it, and we are still running with it. We appreciate their support because they are still with us. Our collective of HODs and clinical heads, and our committee representative. In our board, we have got a committee representation, and they are always with us in events of this nature. Ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Fellows, diplomates, and their certificates, I would like to begin by extending my warmest congratulations to each one of you on reaching this important milestone in your careers. The road to your success has been long and tough, and you may well have encountered occasional speed humps or potholes along the way. Some of you may have lost possessions and strained relations with friends and relatives while pursuing your dreams. The sacrifices and your love you have made and your loved ones that have made can therefore not be understated. More so because all of you have had to juggle work, family, and your studies. I therefore ask the audience to join me in congratulating you as we salute you for your fine achievement and wishing you the best for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I am conscious of the fact that today is a day of celebrations and not one to be filled with lengthy speeches. I will therefore only share 3 messages before we can jet off to celebrate. It is a privilege and an honor to be given this oration in this august occasion. My first message says, understand the context under which you work beyond the biomedical sciences. Graduating from the colleges of medicine of South Africa is not a privilege afforded to all medical doctors. It is therefore a privilege that shouldn't be taken for granted. And looking back, when I first graduated from medical school, I marvel at the many developments that have taken place in healthcare. Most fields of medicine have seen advances that include advances in reproductive techniques, uterine transplants, cochlear implants, the Cancer Genome Atlas, the Human Genome Project, improvement in HIV and AIDS drug combinations, etc. Speaking of HIV, we now have a pre-exposure prophylaxis and are likely to soon have a jab that should prevent HIV transmission. Notwithstanding all these excellent global and local developments, which I'm proud of, and hope you will be part of newer advances that will improve our health outcomes. Sadly, some things have remained the same, and to some extent, even worse over the years. Such things include the death of women while giving birth, a large number of children who die before they reach their 5th birthday, the constantly high number of TB infections and TB-related deaths in our communities, the increasing prevalence of preventable lifestyle diseases like diabetes, hypertension, cancer, and mental illnesses, the high number of preventable admissions due to hypertension and diabetes-related complications, the high number of gender-based and interpersonal violence cases filling our hospitals on weekends, a high number of motor vehicle accident victims, to mention but a few. When I entered medical school in the 90s, I was taught that global leaders vowed that healthcare would be accessed by all people of the world by the year 2000. The year 2000 came and passed, but our people are still complaining about overcrowded hospitals, longer waiting times, expensive private healthcare, inequity in distribution of healthcare resources, delays in ultimate management of cases like orthopedic cases, poor staff attitudes, medical negligence, delays in referrals, and non-availability of caring and competent healthcare professionals to attend to their needs. In March this year, Statistics South Africa released a report showing that 3.4% of the South African population has a disability. People with a disability are likely to have poor access to education and health care if they are from a rural area, and are likely to be very poor if they are from the Eastern Cape province. I therefore sincerely hope that this additional qualification will strengthen your role as a health professional, your desire to serve the disadvantaged and disenfranchised, and your ability to advocate for better access to quality health care. While the role as a medical professional tends to concern itself with the downstream biomedical causes of poor health and often administers a chemical to help the patient, it neglects all the upstream factors, thereby contributing to a revolving patient syndrome and frustrated health workers throughout the value chain. I'm therefore reminded of a Confucius Chinese teacher and philosopher who once said, open quote, "In a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. In a country badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of," close quote. This is because good governance starts with us, the elite, who are privileged to get a shot at specialist education that only less than 5% of the population can have a chance to be enrolled in. My second message, I want to address the importance of advocating for patients and be part of their struggles. As Albert Einstein once said, open quote, "The world is a dangerous place, not because of those who do evil, but because of those who look on and do nothing." Isn't it sad that so much of our economy is reliant on things like alcohol and tobacco sales and their advertisements, while evidence has shown the cost to society's welfare and negative impact on health? As a medical doctor, not only are you among the most educated individuals in the society, but are highly trusted by patients who share their intimate details with you and often follow any instruction with limited questioning, if ever. You are therefore in a better position to unveil evidence, to inform policies and practices through interacting with the soft side of humanity whilst attending to your patients' health needs. If you are questioning the legitimacy of a trauma patient in the emergency rooms, it is within your scope, without endangering yourself, to inform the police of your suspicions so that they can investigate this case. The same applies for gender-based violence victims and those victims of statutory rape. The same goes for the corrupt or fraudulent procurement practices that still limited resources available for poor hospital patients. Similarly, this applies for the death of patients denied access to emergency care owing to labor strikes that take place every day in our lifetime. In our undergraduate studies at medical school, the importance of a thorough history and careful general examination was emphasized. If you are your patient's advocate, you will therefore avoid a narrow focus that says, I am an ophthalmologist and therefore need to focus on the eye, or on the skin in case of a dermatologist. But instead, you will stick to the basic principle that you are not there to treat a disease, but you are there to treat a human being. As Patch Adams would say, I quote, "You treat a disease, you win, you lose. You treat a person, I guarantee you, you will win no matter what the outcome is." Your voice and perspective as a clinician carries far more weight than you might imagine. Use it to advocate for changes and improvements in your health facilities, if in the public sector. Advocate for changes in society within your local environment, your region, your province, and your country. This newly acquired qualification would have hopefully given you more skills to gather scientific evidence that will arm you with enough ammunition as you advocate for your current, future, and past patients. Through your education, you have now hopefully gained the skills to anticipate questions that will be asked as you present this data to those who will make the ultimate decision. As a manager, there is nothing as frustrating as when an employee presents what might be a legitimate issue, but without evidence to back them up. It is therefore an injustice to your patients to, for instance, complain about cancelled theatre cases because there is not enough staff or theatre time. But instead, show your manager evidence in quantifiable terms how much you have stretched the limited resources, and it is still not enough. It is detrimental to patients and impossible to stretch them any further. Through this approach, you are able to then escalate it by communicating with higher decision makers while still keeping your patients informed of steps you are taking to address their needs. Empower your patients on some significant health developments like climate change, importance of physical activity, healthy diets, alcohol intake, broader lifestyle factors which have an impact on healthcare. I can give many examples to this effect, but I hope if you forget all I have said, remember these 3 points. 1, be advocates for your patients and speak for the voiceless. Avoid narrowness at all costs. Use evidence to support your decisions and advocacy. My last message, be lifelong learners. The advancement in healthcare spoken about earlier in this talk have not stopped. Equally, idiopathic causes of disease, their epidemiology, and their complexity are either worsening or they are transforming. For instance, when I was at medical school, I was taught that breast cancer is a disease of the old. But I recently see far more women in their mid-30s and early 40s succumb to the breast cancer. Today's health demands dictate for us to grapple with technological advancements, including artificial intelligence and digital health solutions. If you are not careful, some of these innovations will replace health workers. Artificial intelligence algorithms are now able to interpret radiological images, diagnose diabetic retinopathy, diagnose some cancers and some uncommon dermatological conditions, to mention but a few. In some instances, robots have been used to perform surgical procedures. This theoretical then means that the demand for pathology professions like microbiology, anatomical pathology, forensic pathology, and professions like dermatology, ophthalmology, and radiology could be limited. This is not meant to be a message of doom, but a message that calls on all of you to reflect and forever think ahead of what your role will be to ensure that your expertise remains relevant, effective, and transforming lives of the people. I am once again inspired by Albert Einstein's words of advice. I quote, "Commit yourself to lifelong learning. The most valuable asset you will ever have is your mind and what you put into it." Close quote. It is not, therefore, the presence of artificial intelligence or technological advancement that is a threat, but your lack of adaptation, failure to embrace its use, and how it can be used to enable or enhance your work. The first piece of learning is from and with your patient, followed by you learning from and with your colleagues. Take every opportunity to learn and share such knowledge. It is therefore on those bases that I encourage all of you to network with your colleagues through the attendance of seminars, conferences, and application for fellowships that are often outside of our country and continent. Research, as said earlier, is a tool that can help you advocate for your patients. Let us not focus on the number of publications produced only, but rather let us focus on producing research that will have long-lasting impact on health outcomes. Such research should not end in shelves of libraries, but should be translated in simple language so that the ordinary member of the public can understand. It is therefore important to empower yourself with the necessary skills to be able to research. I assume all of you have submitted your MEd research dissertations. If you are here for a fellowship. If not, do not take too long to complete your dissertation. Once completed, also ensure that it is published as soon as possible. Imparting of knowledge is another way of continuously ensure that you are always in touch with developments in your profession. Teach at undergraduate level and at postgraduate level to not only inspire future generations, but also to enhance your own learning. Some of you might have interest of going into entrepreneurship, such as having a private practice. It is important that you acquire knowledge on financial management, administration, and accounting, so that your business remains an honest business and not one where you always have to look out for the tax collector. Advancing your personal skills on finance, management, and administration will also enable you to be a better leader within health administration and academic leadership. Being in private should not stop you from contributing positively in the public sector, in institutions of higher learning and like ours, and on positive professional developments in the profession. This should not just be an activity of compliance done to meet minimum CPD requirements, but it should be a legitimate effort that you undertake for you to better serve your patients. Once again, I would like to congratulate you on your success and wish you all the best for your onward journey. Hopefully, I have succeeded in giving you some food for thought, but over and above everything, may you be the ambassadors of quality healthcare for the poor, for, as Ron Kaufman would put it, I quote, selfless acts are a source of profound meaning for yourself and your life. I thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for that wonderful address. And it's always good to be addressed by a public health care specialist, because they must certainly bring a different perspective, which I as a surgeon don't always appreciate. So thank you for that. We will now proceed with the presentation of the awards and medals to distinguished candidates and to our new diplomates, our fellows and certificates by examination. And I ask that you all remain in the hall until the end of this of today's proceedings, because we're going to have a group photograph with a stage party at the very end of the procedures.
Mr. President, it's an honor and privilege to present and announce medalists, diplomates, fellows, and certificates from the recent CMSA examinations. Firstly, the medalists from the 2023 examinations. Fellow of the College of Family Physicians of South Africa, Part A, the Team Kwan Medal, awarded to Dr. Pierre-Andre Mans. Mr. President, I present the following successful candidates for admission to the Diploma of Anesthetics of the College of Anesthetists of South Africa. Luntu Panzana. Aphelele Futsani. Zamahlubi Jojozi. Begisisa Kosinati Matuna. Lerato Lizzie Pakade. Diploma in Child Health of the College of Pediatricians of South Africa, Uviwe Mbenga. Diploma in HIV Management of the College of Family Physicians of South Africa, Yamkela Koyana. Nangamso Malashe. Wanga Mbana. Apiwe Mtitwa. Cyprian Olani Mtoninchi. Sisipho Kanyiso Mtulu. Tembani Ngwayimbana. Avuyile Pakade. Awarded with Certificate of Merit, Zukile Sochibi. Sinongomso Uma. Diploma in Mental Health of the College of Psychiatrists of South Africa, Anovuyo Mvishani. Pearl Muroshadi Nzwani. Tandile Vuyo Kambela. Unati Zongo. Diploma in Obstetrics of the College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists of South Africa, Mishak Diko. Awarded with Certificate of Merit to Tuza Jakalasi. Awarded with Certificate of Merit, Tembisa Innocentia Jauka. Awarded with Certificate of Merit, Zibele Mtakani. Gobile Nchikelana. Mr. President, I present the following successful candidates for admission to the Fellowship of the College of Dermatologists of South Africa. Phumza Hilda Pezisa. Final of the Fellowship of the College of Family Physicians of South Africa, Michael Ojonimi Ame. Fellowship of the College of Pediatricians of South Africa, to be wooded by her husband, Dr. L. Bobochana. Nompumelelo Victoria Bobochana. Mpefo Portia Janki Sempe. Lehlonono Mighty Masia. Siphelele Hwai. Fellowship of the College of Physicians of South Africa, Oludayo Olufemi Olubano. Mr. President, I now present the following successful candidates for admission to the following certificates. These are super specialists, subspecialists who have actually studied beyond the fellowship examinations. Certificate in Medical Oncology of the College of Pediatricians of South Africa, Bulelwa Masoka. Certificate in Neonatology of the College of Pediatricians of South Africa, Nosipho Nompumelelo Lomo. Certificate in Nephrology of the College of Physicians of South Africa, Sibulele Mazwi. Certificate in Urogynecology of the College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists of South Africa, Akona Kama.
Well, congratulations to all our new diplomates, fellows, and certificates. The CMSA has introduced a new CMSA pledge to be recited by our new diplomates, fellows, and certificates. So what makes today extra special is that it will be recited for the very first time here in Mthatha at the CMSA admission ceremony. So I invite all our diplomates, fellows, and certificates to please stand up while Professor Mthatha, who is a CMSA senator and president of the College of Anesthetists, will lead the pledge, and she'll come to the lectern.
Okay, this is the pledge by diplomates, fellows, and certificates to be admitted as members of the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa. I'll ask you to repeat after me. The College of Medicine of South Africa is dedicated to promoting the highest degree of skill and efficiency in medical and dental practice and to cultivating the highest ethical standards and professional conduct for the betterment of humanity. Please repeat. I shall always advance and uphold the core ethical values of social justice and health equity. I shall always act in the best interests of my patients and respect their autonomy and rights and treat them with the care and compassion. I shall never allow considerations of financial reward, career advancement, or reputation to compromise my judgment or care to my patients.
I shall never allow considerations of financial reward, career advancement, or reputation to compromise my judgment or care to my patients.
I shall continue to advance my knowledge and skills to offer my patients the best care. I shall continue to learn and teach for the benefit of my patients, my trainees, my community, and my country.
I shall continue to learn and teach for the benefit of my patients, my trainees, my community, and my country.
I shall respect my mentors and colleagues and readily offer them assistance and support.
I shall respect my mentors and colleagues and readily offer them assistance and support.
I undertake to support the mission of the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa and to abide by its code of conduct.
I undertake to support the mission of the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa and to abide by its code of conduct.
Thank you. With these words, I welcome you into the community of membership of the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa. Welcome.
It's now my pleasure to invite Dr. Nosifo Wadzaksa, who is the Acting Chief Director, Human Resource Development of the Eastern Cape Department of Health, to deliver a message of congratulations to our new diplomates, fellows, and certificates.
Prof. Flanagan, the President of the College of Medicine of South Africa, the college senators, candidates, families, and loved ones. Prof. Songa, Prof. Chita, Prof. Babamkwena, Prof. Mpenyana, and Prof. Mazwai, all attendees and HODs and colleagues, good afternoon. This is an exciting moment for the Eastern Cape Department of Health, and particularly for the people of the Eastern Cape. Congratulations to all our postgraduates today who continue to maintain a strong spine of our health system. Despite the challenges, our health systems remains amongst the most agile in the world. The strength is a result of the high quality training and education of health professionals. As the Eastern Cape Department of Health, we hugely appreciate the production of these specialist cadres. We recall a time when it used to be extremely difficult to attract specialists to work in areas like Mthatha, and patients were referred to Inkosi Albert Luthuli in KZN, Groteskuru in Western Cape, or Gauteng province for minor care that could be done at home. We now see those challenges slowly fading away. Thank you to Walter Sisulu University, as most specialists are now produced in-house and retained in the Eastern Cape. The cohort of graduates come just weeks after the country's president has signed the National Health Insurance into law. We look forward to these specialists crafting an NHI model for the Eastern Cape. Our partnership must grow stronger and be more resilient to also capture the bigger role health professionals need to play in making NHI a reality. As new diseases emerge, so should our research capacity grow. As you rise in the ranks of the health system, your responsibility to ensure high ethical and professional standards in our systems also increases. Be part of the solution to the challenges that we face as a province, making sure that our province and its people derive the returns on their investments in you. To the families of our graduates, thank you for all the sacrifice and investment you put in these graduates. Your support was vital for their success. You did this for this province, for South Africa and beyond. To the President of the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa and all senators, we are very proud of you. Congratulations. I thank you very much.
Right, thank you very much for that, that message of congratulations. I now also have the pleasure to welcome all our new diplomates, fellows, and certificates to our colleges of medicine of South Africa community. This is indeed a time for great celebration. I'd now like to give our diplomates, fellows, and certificates the opportunity to stand up, to make a big noise, and to acknowledge your family and your teachers. Right, the CMSA is a voluntary membership organization with more than 11,000 members. It's the biggest community of medical and dental specialists in South Africa. However, it's only through your continued membership and support that the CMSA can contribute to maintaining standards of specialized medical and dental practice in South Africa, to advocate on behalf of specialists and diplomates, to engage government on health policy, to support education and training through our new e-learning platform, and to promote research through the Journal of the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa. I invite you to join the Young Specialist Forum of the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa. The Young Specialist Forum presents an opportunity for you to get involved in advocacy around health matters, to mentor trainees, to develop online preparatory educational material for candidates, to be trained as examiners at an earlier age, and to serve as a bridge between the CMSA and our trainees. However, I understand that your joy of completing your training may be tempered by the major crisis in public health care in South Africa, with financial cuts impacting all levels of health care. As newly qualified diplomats, specialists, and subspecialists, you have limited career opportunities in public teaching hospitals due to frozen posts and contraction of services. This is not only bad for provision of much needed specialist services to our community, but also challenges our ability as a country to educate and train not only diplomats, specialists, and subspecialists, but also medical students. And this could have long-term effects on healthcare. The CMSA will continue to advocate to protect diplomat and specialist training and services and where rationing is inevitable, that it be done ethically, that it mitigates the impact on healthcare to the broader population, and that we protect education and training and research. My plea is that despite this challenging healthcare environment, that you remain in the Eastern Cape Province and in South Africa, where your services are desperately needed. Practicing specialized medicine in low and middle income settings can be challenging and at times very frustrating, but it can be professionally highly rewarding. With less than 5% of patients in Africa having ready access to safe, affordable surgery, this is where you can have the biggest impact as an anesthetist or as a surgeon, and the same is true for all specialist disciplines. I ask that you continue to read and to question and to grow and to broaden your minds and to share your knowledge and skills by remaining involved in teaching programs, even as unpaid honorary consultants. I ask that you take care of yourself and your loved ones, that you look after your physical and your mental well-being, be kind to yourself, take time out, and be present at important family events. And finally, I ask that in a country with so much inequality and poverty, that you remain humble, that you remain grounded, and that you never lose your humanity. I now ask that we all stand to sing the national anthem. Ms. Yolokazi Kanzi, our academic registrar of the CMSA, will lead us in singing the anthem. Will you please stand?
Kosi sikeleli Afrika, maluphakanyiso phondolwayo, izwa imithandazo yethu. Kosi sikelela
Right, by the power vested in me on behalf of the Senate, I now dissolve the proceedings of the CMSA. I request that our new diplomates and fellows and certificates remain in their seats for a group photograph with the CMSA leadership and the academics. And I ask that we all stand while the stage party leaves the hall.
Gaudeamus igitur, Juvenestum sumus, gaudeamus igitur. Juvenestum sumus, post secundam juventutem, post molestam senectutem, nos habebitumus, nos habebitumus. Gaudeamus igitur, Juvenestum sumus, gaudeamus igitur. Juvenestum sumus, post secundam juventutem, post molestam senectutem, nos habebitumus, nos habebitumus. Gaudeamus igitur, Juvenestum sumus, gaudeamus igitur. Juvenestum sumus, post secundam juventutem, post molestam senectutem, nos habebitumus, nos habebitumus.